Hi guys, welcome to the show. I'm Manny.
I'm Terrence.
And here are the goods. After a 2-week hiatus.
I know.
Where the hell we been?
These long breaks. What was, nothing. There was just no reason. We were just not here.
We were not here. Everything was going on with around us and we said nothing. Spider-Man happened and nothing.
All the good news happened last week.
Yeah.
We got all the leftover news.
So we're going to play catch up a little bit. But let's start with the box office anyway. Obviously, I just mentioned Spider-Man Homecoming was number one last week. This week got knocked out of the first spot by War of the Planet of the Apes.
Right.
War for the Planet of the Apes.
Crazy enough. Is it crazy that it's no longer it was only number one for basically a week?
Yes.
Or is it crazy that the level of Spider-Man should be number one for so long time, or that comic books should stay number one for quite some time because the amount of money they've been generating?
I thought that after Spider-Man's appearance in Civil War and this introduction to this new Spider-Man, that the first solo film would actually just hold out a little bit longer and hold up stronger.
But do we give credit to Planet of the Apes? I mean, it's his third movie, and all of them have done really well.
Yes, and that's why I say that, because you have this this technically a part one for Spider-Man,
right,
and a third entry.
I mean, it's basically ending the trilogy for it. So a lot of people wanted to see what the end was like. So I kind of see where that was, but I do feel bad that Spider-Man got knocked out at number one.
I think that a majority of it too is that comic book fatigue, man.
Everybody keeps saying that. I don't think
it's just maybe
Spider-Man made what, like 171 in the first million?
The first week it made 117.
117, that's what it was. Okay. I mixed up my numbers.
200, worldwide or whatever.
Comic book fatigue would have been, it made 50 million.
Well, true, but I think that it's just, with the summer, because it's been a horrible summer.
Right.
Maybe if they would have came out in June, maybe it would have done a little bit better, but we were talking about the July 7th, after the 4th of July. I think maybe that it was just, wrong timing. Maybe.
I think it was just too close to another tentpole movie.
Right.
If you had a little bit more space between War of the Planet of the Apes, it would have been number one all the way until then.
Right now, Planet of the Apes is sitting at a 95 Rotten Tomatoes.
That's the other good part, is that
critical freaking.
It's doing. I mean, people love this movie, so why would it not make a lot of money? So.
It's amazing, and I can't wait for you to go watch it so you can do your review.
This is the first time I'm the person who has not seen the movie
before you. That's insane. Anyway, so it opened at 56 million. Spider-Man dropped 61% to earn 45 million. I really thought that it was going to be a heavyweight fight, that was going to duke it out with the Planet of the Apes, and it was going to be a tight one. It was not even close. 208 million worldwide for Spider-Man so far. So we'll see if maybe it still holds on to the second spot, which is now horrible because it's got to hold on to second now before it drops the third. So
maybe because it was too close to Amazing Spider-Man. Maybe people are still trying to get over Amazing Spider-Man.
Maybe, and but at the same time, there's a lot of people that are talking about it not really feeling like a Spider-Man movie. Like it felt like
Ferris Bueller.
Yeah, and I don't know if the high school.
I mean, even showing clips of Ferris Bueller. I mean,
high school perspective, maybe.
No, they even use a Ferris Bueller. Like they even did a clip and then showed Ferris Bueller on the TV. So.
Oh yeah, that's right. Michael Keaton was a standout for me.
Yeah,
I love Michael Keaton in this movie. Anyway, so number 3 was Despicable Me 3, 18 million.
Still making money.
Still making money, but not as much as you would think. Number 4 was one of your favorites, The Summer Baby Driver.
Yeah.
8 million. And then rounding out the top 5 is The Big Sick, independent film that's actually doing something that's making actually some pretty good noise out there. Possible Oscar consideration. It rounded out the top 5 with 7 million. Coming up this week is Christopher Nolan back. What was Christopher Nolan's last movie? Was it Interstellar?
It was Interstellar, yeah.
Okay, well,
the one with the horrible ending.
Never seen it, so I can't.
Well, don't watch the ending.
All right.
Watch 75% of that movie. Don't watch the ending.
Well, Dunkirk is the World War II drama that's going to be coming out.
They hid the whole point of this movie, and if you're not a history major, you didn't know what this movie was about except that it was in war. And then they finally revealed what the fucking movie was about. Because I was like, I don't know if I want to see it. Now I'm kind of iffy about if I want to see it.
Well, we had I've talked to people that have actually. Was in the war. Some people were actually in the war that I met.
You time traveled?
Yes, I time traveled everywhere. Okay, fine. I had older customers that came in that were actually veterans from that war. Whatever. Anyway, they talked about it. So, alrighty then. Yeah, with Doc Brown's
the DeLorean. You got the
going
DeLorean.
into 88. And other one is that's opening up this week is Girls Trip, which is rough night for
Black people.
for the sisters. For the sisters. Queen Latifah, Jada Pinkett Smith back on the screen together.
We can have Birdie
First time
4.
since
We can have
Set It
Birdie
Off.
4.
They're not robbing banks this time though.
No, which is I think theirs is going to be a little bit more risque than what Rough Night was.
Yeah. I've seen some scenes and it's pretty out there. Jada Pinkett Smith is the prude in the movie.
Which is funny is like, I expect this movie to do well. I don't expect it to break records or anything like that, but I expect it to do. It's definitely going to make whatever it cost them in production to do this film. It's definitely going to make it back. This is one of those movies where it features enough, I want to say, top A-list black celebrities that is going to be supported by the black community. That's how Tyler Perry goes on for so long. If Tyler Perry can make money, this film is going to make a lot of money.
It's projected to do 20 million. I don't think it's going to do bad moms numbers, but I think you're right. I think it'll make its budgets back for sure.
No, it'll definitely. You will see a sequel to this film.
War of the Planet of the Apes,
right?
#1 movie in the world.
Okay,
or in the country. Mm-hmm. Absolutely perfection as far as performance by Andy Serkis. Now, Andy Serkis is, I would say, he's the one that is taking motion capture to a whole other freaking level.
You don't know any other piece. You don't know anybody else who does motion capture since Mortal Kombat with like Carlos Pesina doing like all the Mortal Kombat characters in the original. That's the only other mocap person I know. I don't know any other mocap people.
But and that's video games. But we're talking like motion picture, having to wear the suit and the camera in your face and all that stuff. Now, Andy Serkis is pretty much going to be the top actor when it comes to motion capture. He did Gollum, he did King Kong. Now he's Caesar. Right now, also if you want Leader Snoke.
If you want to think about video games again, he even did Heavenly Sword.
Did he really?
Yeah, he was the little ruler king that was in Heavenly Sword. He did that one. He did the motion capture for that.
So it's been like all over the internet that he deserves an Oscar nomination for Planet of the Apes. Now you look at Rise.
Okay.
In Rise, it was like half because he was little. In the beginning, it wasn't him, and then So I can't. Okay, I get it. Not that big of a deal. You get to Dawn.
Okay.
And Caesar's already older, and he had to carry that whole movie in the suit with the crutches, how he has to bend and all that stuff. And now he's doing it again for War.
Okay, so the pushback, because I know where you're going. You're like, does he deserve?
Yeah, absolutely.
Right. So the pushback to this, and I almost kind of agree with it, was because everything's so heavily CGI with how he looks, and even though he does like the expressions and things, because it's all CGI. If he maybe doesn't give them the expression that they want, or maybe if they want to accentuate
they can
adjust it. So, and that where it loses to where, like, if somebody was like, man, he get a great performance, the way he looked, the way he delivered that line, and it's like it sold me about like everything about him in that moment. Okay. With Andy Serkis, how much is his actual performance versus how much they actually just edited in post?
True, but if they let's say Fox gives the dailies to the Academy, and
how would they do that?
Well, no, just listen.
Okay.
And just to show them exactly what it is that he is doing under certain conditions. Because, I think some of it was filmed in actual snow. I'm not too sure, but in the when they're actually filming, showing the emotion, showing the stunt work, everything that he does. Because I'll tell you right now, if you haven't seen War for the Planet of the Apes, you gotta check it out. His emotions in his eyes and the way he carries himself in this whole movie, it's really, which they could have CGI'd. Okay, fine. But I really don't think so. I really think that some of it is legitimately him. I went back and I saw behind the scenes for Dawn, behind the scenes for Rise, and I mean, the dude was like crying. I mean, he was like legit, like on everything. And you factor in also the work that he puts in Kong and all that stuff. Okay, fine. But for this particular movie, carrying a 2.5-hour movie.
No, I get it. I think he deserves award. I mean, like, because of the simple fact that now his name is synonymous with CGI,
with motion capture.
Or motion capture is what I meant. That if you're like, I'm gonna have a motion capture, Big Bird. we're gonna think, huh, is Andy Serkis gonna do that? It's you know, it's one of those things. It was like, oh,
Big Bird in a circus. That's
basically.
Andy Serkis.
Why is he not doing Groot for somebody? But I get what they're saying. But it's like if they were to send them to like all the behind the scenes footage and the dailies and stuff like that, we can't even get people in the Academy to actually watch screeners. You want them to watch uncut raw footage. When it comes to promoting, they throw out black screeners like, oh, it's a black movie. Ain't watching that.
Well, I'm just saying that, you know. Well, that's CGI. No.
Oh, he's a black gorilla. I ain't watching that.
Oh man, I'm not touching that one, dude. Anyway. You're an idiot.
Sorry.
But I'm just saying though, like, you know, because of the amount of work that goes into it, what constitutes performance then? If you're looking at Best Actor, that's acting, regardless.
But you open the door for a lot of other people that do it, and it's like, then you're gonna have like all these other people who's like, well, I've been doing motion capture for years, and nobody's ever talked about the motion capture that I did. But because he's a bigger name,
is he really a bigger name though? I mean, that's gonna have to be part of our his superstar versus
his name has been. I mean, because he's done bigger films. He's done bigger films, and we've actually seen his face on screen. I mean, because he does act, but
the character he plays in Avengers, versus Caesar, which one's a bigger movie? Which one's a bigger performance for him?
But he's in an Avenger movie.
It doesn't matter.
Everybody in the Avengers
from
is
a
like
performance standpoint. From a performance
Claw
standpoint.
Versus what is he in Planet of the Apes? Caesar versus Claw. Obviously, Caesar would probably be the
exactly
because he only had like 5 minutes in Avengers.
But the point I'm making is that the amount of work that he puts in as Caesar, I think, should be recognized by the Academy.
But then you open the door for every other motion capture artist, though.
But then
Carlos Messina, come get your award now.
If they do a separate category, potentially, I don't know, that might be a way that you eliminate any kind of hostility or animosity because of that. But at the same time, you look at Beauty and the Beast is the only animated movie to ever be nominated for an Oscar, if I remember right, for Best Picture. It was before, you know what I'm saying? So I think that, you know, before they created the Best Animated of whatever, you got that, okay? But you know, that eliminated that part. Now you can actually just try it and see that, you know, if maybe it turns into a separate acting category. But then what I was thinking too was, what about the, you know, that could go with voice acting too. Voice actors are out there.
I think it would fall with voice acting thing. And I was like, if you're gonna mix it with something, you're gonna mix it with that, because then there's so many things that get motion captured, and it's not always the focus of the film. And it's like, so then you're gonna have a category that's only gonna have 1 or 2 films, and then, or like if you think it was like, it's got like 5 films in it, and Andy Serkis did 4 of them.
And then you got Dan Stevens, who played the Beast in Beauty and the Beast, motion capture. So you have that.
Where's Dan Stevens talk about?
Yeah, really, they were too busy talking about Josh Gad the whole freaking time. Anyway, tell us what you think. Should Andy Serkis be nominated for an Oscar? I think, absolutely, I think he should. Speaking of Beauty and the Beast, Disney sued. What the hell is that about?
Who sues Disney? Don't you know how much money they have?
Visual effects company Reardon is claiming that its MOVA contour reality capture technology was stolen.
I'm glad you said MOVA. I would have pronounced it MOVA.
MOVA. Wait, all right. Disney contracted allegedly, I don't know how true this is, but Disney contracted the criminals who stole this technology to obtain it and use it without permission on movies like Guardians of the Galaxy, The Avengers, Ultron, and Beauty and the Beast.
Is that where we got the awesome CGI freaking like the de-aging from? Is MOVA technology?
That's a possibility.
That's crazy.
It's a possibility.
So, are you saying that they knew that it was stolen when they contracted them, or did some people just say like, hey man, I got this stuff and I can help you out with your CGI?
Check out this MOVA, baby. Look, I got this MOVA, baby.
Like, you want Robert Downey Jr. to look like he back in his 20s, man. You want Michael Douglas to look like he back in his 30s, man. We got this technology right here. We go. Don't worry about where it came from, baby. We got this. We got you. We got you.
Yeah, man. I mean, I saw Tron Legacy. You need this shit. It's demanding Disney not to distribute Guardians of the Galaxy 2, I guess, the next Avengers, and Beauty and the Beast. So if this is true, how much money does Disney stand to lose?
A lot.
This is not the first time.
It won't even make it. If for some particular reason, what's gonna happen is so like the contractors, they did steal it. I don't know if we know that they stole it or not, but let's say that they did. Disney's gonna say we didn't know.
What me?
Yeah, it's like I didn't know. It was like they said they came up with it. We contracted them to do some work. They did the work. They DH Michael Douglas and DH Robert Downey Jr. We contracted them to do the work. We still need to work with them on Tron, but hey. But so they're gonna say we didn't know. Is all that's going to happen, and if for some particular reason where they feel like they're going to lose this lawsuit, they're going to pay them off way before they even have to talk about taking money from the revenue of what's going on. They're going to pay them off. It's going to be quiet. You're not even going to know about it. It's just going to happen under the table, and we're going to be talking about the next damn Guardian of the Galaxy. And we're going to be talking about how freaking great Tron 3 looks.
Yeah. And Jeff Bridges. Okay, so if this is true, though, don't you think that it would actually have been cheaper just to hire the rear end and not go this route? Because
maybe the contractors told them that they were. Look, have you not bought stolen goods? Wait. I don't want to incriminate myself.
You talking about this camera?
How
did we get this camera?
This is hypothetical. When you buy stolen stuff, you don't ask where it came from. You don't be like, hey man, were you the ones that invented this? Were you the ones that did like, you don't do that. You're like, hey, I would like to buy that. Where'd it come from? Do you want to know? Nah, man, I don't want to know. You got a good price. And you just take it and you move on. You don't sit up there and question it. You let it go. You let them do the work.
You're in an alley, for Christ's sake.
Exactly. You're in an alley with a truck and the thing's raised up to the back.
It smells like piss and oil and yeah.
It's like, I'm not gonna fault them for having it done. You're not gonna sit there, like if somebody comes in and do the plumbing, you're gonna say like, hey man, whose other plumbing did you do? Did you get them tools from the? Did you steal them tools? No, you're gonna be like, do my plumbing. I want to go to the bathroom and let's go. You're not gonna do all that.
But
stuff.
I just would think that the buyout would probably be more than them hiring them.
It would have been
right. So that's all right. Never.
They expect to get caught. That's how it works.
That's what it is. That's what it is.
They didn't expect to get caught.
In trailer talk, you know what? One of my all-time favorites as far as the horror genre is Leatherface.
Right.
Texas Chainsaw Massacre, 1974.
Great movie.
Freaking Tobe Hooper.
Great movie. They have not yet to recapture that.
One of the best movies ever. Not one real kill in there. Like one real solid chainsaw kill, not one.
And Texas Chainsaw Massacre?
Yeah, everything is all
the
about
hammer scene?
No, I'm talking about like as far as the chainsaw. There's no.
Oh, he never kills anybody with a chainsaw.
Yeah, it's
I mean, cut his legs.
All of it's in the mind. All of it.
He cut his legs.
No, he didn't.
At the end, when he's swinging the chainsaw around, it's like
he cut his little leg. He cut his little piece on his leg. Come on. Anyway,
it's a chainsaw, sir.
Well,
chainsaw.
The prequel / reboot is going to be coming out pretty soon. It's actually being brought to you by DirecTV.
This is crazy.
It's pretty crazy, but the trailer looks freaking amazing.
First, DirecTV freaking wraps up the NFL. Now they're wrapping up my horror. I was like, I can't watch anything. I don't have DirecTV. How am I gonna see this?
Well, for those that are, if it's raining in your neck of the woods, you won't be seeing it either.
You won't see it either.
Anyway, there's going to be a limited theatrical run for this movie, but the trailer itself looks absolutely freaking badass, man. It looks like it's taking you back to the gory days and kind of like implementing a little bit of what Tobe Hooper did and what they did in the remake with Jessica Biel, which I thought was actually a pretty worthy remake that Michael Bay produced. Well, the one thing that Michael Bay did right. But yeah, overall, I mean, I thought it was actually pretty good. So, what did you think about the trailer?
The only thing I really did like the trailer, but the one thing that really stood out to me is that I didn't know anybody that was in the cast. So now I can stop thinking about all the celebrity cameos that coming through when we had
Trey Songz.
Trey Songz in it. And it was like, dude, come on, I just want to focus on the movie. Like you said, I was like Jessica Biel, dude. Oh God, I wanted to focus on what the film was and what their story they were trying to tell me and the gore and the horror and all that stuff. This one, I could just live in it, except for the fact that the freaking chick. Edit. Black talk still coming out. Yeah. The chick in the film from the other horror movie was Aspen, what was it?
What?
The chick that was in the Leatherface trailer. What was her? She was from what horror film she was in? The mom.
Oh, Conjuring.
Thank you, Conjuring. That chick was in it. That's the only thing that kind of made you stood out. But I mean,
but she fits it perfectly.
yeah, basically.
The way
So
she was.
that was it. Everything else, I'm really excited to see this film.
And I think when you take it back to the 74 version, you're absolutely right. Not one of those people were freaking well known, and it was completely about characters.
They're all broke and penniless now.
No, they make money at the signings, you know. $10 for my signature. Anyway, so I cannot freaking wait. Highly intense. Limited jokes. They said they were trying to eliminate all the jokes and all the little corny stuff.
They take it serious, man.
Yeah, they take it very seriously. They're taking Leatherface like back to his days in the pre, where he's like really hulking, and it's like shows him like how he's getting to be the way he is.
Right.
And it just looks freaking awesome. Hey, you know what though? I am gonna miss Arlie Ermey. He's not going to be in this.
Oh, yeah.
He's not the crazy sheriff.
See, that's
what's all this flies?
That's
because we're the shit. That's why.
That was another thing that was like, he kind of takes me out of the film because all I'm thinking about is.
Ow!
Yeah, exactly. Or.
You should know your fucking name. Oh, Full Metal Jacket. For those of you who don't know that reference. Anyway, what do you want to see out of it?
Horror, and more horror. That's all I was saying. I want to see something that's like makes me like I don't want to see too much like why they do it. I want to see more along the lines of like,
do it.
Yeah, just do it. just do it.
And do it.
All right, so
do it.
I don't want to see them sit up there explain too much because I think even though as much as I like the remake to Halloween, I think they explain way too much. Of like why Michael did it, why did he wear the jumpsuit, why did he put on this particular mask and stuff like that. And it's like I don't really care. Just if you want to show me a little bit as far as like what led him to doing that, that's fine. But just get to it. Don't like he stitched together this one mask and he didn't like the way that one mask looked. So then he added this to it and then he was like I'm gonna do this. I like this chainsaw. I only got this particular model of chainsaw. And I was like, it's just like hey, I Ed Gein. I mean because he was based on Ed Gein. It was like I cut off some faces. I decided to put one on my face. There was a chainsaw on the corner. Let's go. That's what I want to see. That's all I want to see. And I want to see a bunch of underage kids who are drinking and smoking and having sex, and then they get murdered. Scream.
Did everybody get all that?
Yeah. I'm sorry. That's my movie.
Well, that's you're absolutely right. It is based on Ed Gein, one of the freaking notorious serial killers from back in the day. So you fast forward to another one back in 1974, a movie called Helter Skelter came out, and it freaking highlighted the Manson murders.
Right.
Well, you fast forward again, and Quentin Tarantino is picking his ninth movie to be about the Manson murders.
And that's great for him and that particular because he knows how to do period pieces as far as like in that 70s grindhouse thing that he normally does. And for this film, I mean, this film took place in the 70s. He knows how to do films. He knows how to write the dialogue for those particular type of films. He knows how to do something brutal and gory. And the biggest thing about the Manson murders was just that one particular murder. So when all he has to show is that one murder, he gets you into the story and into the setting of that film based on dialogue. If you knew all the dialogue and the twisted mind of Manson going into it, it would make this movie great. And I'm really excited to see when it gets done and out and released. I will be first in line.
I think that when because he's so good at dialogue, I think that the dialogue he puts in to actually set everything up, especially who he casts as Manson.
Yeah.
Now, right now, they're thinking of Margot Robbie or Jennifer Lawrence.
I can see her. I don't want to see Jennifer.
Well, hold on.
Let me tell you.
Margot Robbie or Jennifer Lawrence to be Sharon Tate.
But there was like 3 chicks, right? So it was like they could do them all.
Yeah. Deborah Tate, Sharon Tate's sister, doesn't think that Jennifer Lawrence isn't pretty enough to be Sharon Tate.
Oh.
Is that awful?
Low blow.
That she would rather have Margot Robbie be Sharon Tate.
You know what? It's just like, man. Look, Jennifer Lawrence is attractive. Don't say she's not attractive. I would rather see Margot Robbie because I know Margot Robbie can play crazy. I don't know Jennifer Lawrence can play crazy.
Sharon Tate wasn't crazy. Sharon Tate was a victim. She was the one that was.
Oh wait, I thought we were still talking about the chicks who followed Marilyn Manson.
No.
Oh, okay.
This is the actual from the actual.
The actual. I don't. You know what? Nah, I don't want to see it. I don't even see Margot Robbie play that role. I want to see Margot Robbie, one of the crazy chicks That's what I want to see.
Well, then she'd be kind of typecasted as far as the Harley Quinn thing. I don't want to see that.
Do that all the time.
Okay, fine. I'll let that one slide. Jennifer Lawrence as Sharon Tate. I think I'd have too much of a hard time looking past the fact that she's Jennifer Lawrence.
That's why I will.
That's why I would go with an unknown or somebody that's moderately famous, not as famous, maybe.
So you want to play Jennifer Lawrence, all that money to be a victim?
Right, exactly. So, I mean, but you know, the name itself would sell it.
The movie would be about the couple before the Mansons got there, instead of it being about the Mansons arriving and murdering.
It all depends on the direction he goes. If he goes,
Because
from the Manson camp into that, and there's a subplot, a sub story, he can go that route too to give equal screen time. That's a possibility.
Quentin, remember when you were going to cast Will Smith for Django? Don't do this with Jennifer Lawrence.
I don't think so either, honestly. I mean, like I said, you can't look past the fact that she's Jennifer Lawrence. So I would not go with that. Brad Pitt is involved as far as talks about
Manson.
No, as far as talking. You know what?
For Manson?
You know what?
He could live in that role. I bet you he could.
Yeah. If you think back, just like Val Kilmer did for Jim Morrison in The Doors.
Yeah.
I could totally see Brad Pitt in that Manson role.
I can see it.
Unfortunately, I don't think it's going to happen. He's supposedly going to play a lieutenant or something, or a cop basically in it. So I don't
he's
think
got this other movie coming out where he's like some politician or something like that coming out too. But I would love to see it, but it won't do it. But Quentin knows how to pick people to be in his movie, so I mean,
obviously Quentin, a Tarantino regular, Sam Jackson is also
Sam Jackson as Marilyn Manson as Charles Manson because he's in everything.
Give me Cooper. Give me
Bradley Cooper?
I'll take Bradley Cooper as Manson. I think Bradley Cooper could play that.
He'd have to lose weight.
He'd be more Ted Bundy-ish though.
Yeah, he'd have to lose weight.
I don't know. That'd be pretty interesting. Christian Bale because he's already played Psycho. Yeah, Christian Bale. And this time he's a real American Psycho. All right, never mind. That's pretty weak. That's awful. Anyway, tell us what you think about who should be cast as Charles Manson.
I'm out of drink.
I'm out of drink. I'm not out of drink. All right. Speaking of deaths, horrible. But in this regard, it's actually sad because these two were iconic in their own right. Actor Martin Landau died at the young age of 89.
I hope I make 89.
Influenced by Charlie Chaplin, he actually started show business at the age of 17. Came out in a bunch of movies. Was actually skyrocketed coming out in Alfred Hitchcock's North by Northwest, portraying a gay man or a gay investigator or something. He played something. Anyway,
he was gay?
Yes, he was.
I mean, back then, are you sure he was gay?
He was. I
don't think they came out a lot back then.
He won the Oscar in 1994 for his portrayal of Bela Lugosi in Tim Burton's Ed Wood.
Right.
Awesome performance, but it was I was like really torn between him and Gary Sinise and as Lieutenant Dan. It was like really like freaking, I couldn't. Who would you have picked? Martin Landau's Bela Lugosi or Gary Sinise as Lieutenant Dan Forrest Gump?
I watched that movie once and
Gary Sinise. All right. Anyway,
I only watched it once, and I was like, it was a good movie, but
I love that movie actually. It's pretty good. And of course, we're talking about Leatherface, horror icon. George Romero died, 77 years old. He died of lung cancer. He's considered pretty much the father of the zombie movies, bringing out Night of the Living Dead in 1968. Made it for $100,000, and it is absolutely the launching pad for zombie movies for one.
Yeah,
and
two,
he
basically set up all the rules at that point.
Made millions.
Yeah,
millions.
Don't show it to your little kids now because they won't get it. And I tried to show Kaya tried to show her, and she's like, "This is boring. This is boring." Why are they doing this? Why are they walking so slow, Dad? She could run past it, Dad. Why did she crash this car? I spent the whole movie explaining the movie.
Because of The Walking Dead, that's what it was. I swear. Anyway, but it launched the trilogy, the Dead trilogy with Night of the Dead, Night of the Living Dead, Dawn of the Dead, and Day of the Dead. Dawn of the Dead actually considered one of the best horror movies of all time.
Love that movie.
Took Tom Savini from the makeup that he did in Friday the 13th. Those movies, especially Dawn of the Dead, elevated Tom Savini to the freaking top when it comes to makeup. That he really highlighted his talent when it came to Dawn and Day, because you see the stuff that Savini did in those movies. It was absolutely freaking amazing, and George Romero helped make that happen. It sucks, man. It really does suck. That he is no longer with us.
He did live a long life, sir.
I don't care. 77 is still young.
Black people die at 35, sir.
That's true. That's because of the police. Anyway, that's awful, Terrence. All right.
Yes.
Take us home. I don't even know how to follow that.
All right, not that I'm trashing George Romero. I love the whole Night of the Living Dead series. Big fan. Like I said, try to show my kids it. But if you're a fan, and please put it in the comments below. And if you're a fan of the show, please let us know if you like, or anything that you see on this show that you would like to comment on, because we love to hear those comments. Also, make sure you subscribe so that way you know about all the other shows that we do, because we do a crap load of shows, and we love to make sure that you guys are aware of them and you get to see them when they actually get released. But other than that, that's all I got.
We just want to send shout outs to our good buddy Art Cherries, who's up in Colorado.
Colorado.
Get there safe and get back safe, sir. So
Hooking us up.
Hooking us up. For Aspen in the back, I'm Manny.
Terrence.
And that was the goods. That's what it was, right? He was like...
No, he's not the pedophile. It was Barney. Barney was the pedophile.
Barney was a pedophile?
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know that.
Look.
I didn't know that.
Let's go.
I didn't know that.
Cut me down.
Pedophile. Man, now I understand why he loves me.
Ew, Terrence.
He loves me a little.
And he wants me to love him.
Yeah.
Man.
Terrence.
He's usually pink, but when you rub him long enough, he turns purple.